name is Jessica Bellacci, and this is my final for EDL600. I will be analyzing my school district, the juvenile court and community schools, but focusing on just the court school component, as the court side and the community side differ greatly. I've designed this presentation to be presented to the court school principal for reasons I will discuss later on. A little bit of background about the court schools. Court schools is emerging from old school to new school. Over the last few years, we've made great strides to move from an old school way of thinking to a new school way of thinking. We still have a long way to go, but learning has shifted from books, pencils, and paper to interactives and project-based learning. Though teachers had internet access and capable devices, student use of technology is new this year. Probation finally agreed that students need access to technology and skills that come with using it in order to be successful when they're released. Chromebooks were selected as the device of choice after input was gathered from teachers, admin, ITS, and others. This new vision of one-to-one access with internet capability is aligned with state and national Common Core standards. With access to new technology this year, leadership put policy into place that required teachers to take the leading-edge certification program or an alternative digital literacy training in order to receive a class set of student Chromebooks. JCCS has covered the cost of the classes and worked with SDSU to provide many cohorts so that all teachers are able to attend such trainings. By setting up this policy, JCCS and court schools provided a system for a strong foundation of knowledge before a teacher is given the technology. The goal of both LEC and DLT programs being to train teachers to operate blended or virtual learning environments. This is a very new concept to teachers in juvenile hall who are brand new to student internet capabilities. The programs cover Web 2.0 resources as well as strategies to use them as our teachers move to a more blended environment. The vision of one-to-one access is so important that it is featured as a goal in our LCAP for the next 3 years. Our LCAP Goal 3F states 80% of students will have access to one-to-one technology, and that increases to 90%, then 100% in the subsequent years. With access to new technology this year, leadership put policy into place that required teachers to take the leading-edge certification program or an alternative digital literacy training in order to receive a class set of student Chromebooks. JCCS has covered the cost of the classes and worked with SDSU to provide many cohorts so that all teachers are able to attend such trainings. By setting up this policy, JCCS and court schools provided a system for a strong foundation of knowledge before a teacher is given the technology. The goal of both LEC and DLT programs being to train teachers to operate blended or virtual learning environments. This is a very new concept to teachers in juvenile hall who are brand new to student internet capabilities. The programs cover Web 2.0 resources as well as strategies to use them as our teachers move to a more blended environment. JCCS created a partnership with ITS at SDCOE this year, and with it came the expertise of that department. Chromebooks were chosen as the device for court school students, in part for their fiscal sustainability. Chromebooks are rather cheap, easy to replace, and according to our ITS expert Dennis Danielson, Chromebooks have warranties that make them a durable choice over time. Student network infrastructure needed to be placed this year, as it was the first to be installed. Infrastructure in place is uniform to allow for easy updating and refreshing. Complications did arise with bandwidth for the many students that come with one-to-one access. Issues were solved quickly and should not cause further expenditures. LEC and DLT training for teachers is paid for by JCCS as a district through the professional development funding. This cost is high this year as most teachers are being trained, but will be a declining cost next year as less teachers will need it. As mentioned before, LEC DLT does not have a formal support system for graduates. Such a system could also be funded by professional development funds. JCCS did create positions of learning coaches this year to assist teachers in planning and designing lessons of all subjects, though not specifically to aid just LEC DLT teachers. As it is related to professional development, something could be put in place that uses the same type of funding. Court Schools LCAP Action C states that they will purchase resources and staff needed to implement personalized learning plans, digital literacy, and high-quality VAPA, STEM, and CTE courses, and allocates $200,000 from general funds for the first year and $100,000 for each subsequent year. As teachers complete LEC or DLT, the cost once used for those programs could be converted into some type of fund for a refresher training, PLC time, or an unconference situation, or any way that teachers using these strategies could meet, share, and collaborate. I have developed 2 actionable goals that JCCS court schools could take to improve the technology situation. I will address the gaps, the goals, the action, and its fiscal impact. My first actionable goal addresses the gap that teachers are provided limited formal support after the LEC DLT programs end. The goal is to have teachers have access to support as they practice new techniques that they've learned in LEC or DLT. The action we could take is to implement a technology PLC at each site for teachers with Chromebooks until all teachers have access. The fiscal impact would be little to none. Possibly devote a portion of time at monthly meetings to meeting with PLCs, to allow quarterly meetings of all sites, or to allow half days for PLCs to meet. My second actionable goal addresses the gap of having no consistent disciplinary policies when students break the internet use rules. The goal is to avoid discriminatory discipline, to promote equitable access, and to maintain consistent actions. The action we could take is to design a system of consequences with a variety of input and present it to students from both a school and probation side. The fiscal impact for this would also be little. Money would need to be spent to provide a facility for a small committee of stakeholders to meet and plan the technology consequences. Teachers and leadership, definitely from probation as well, students, and if possible, parents. It could be held in a classroom to lower costs. You may need to provide a day substitute to head teachers or some teacher representative from each school, or you could hold it after school and pay employees an hourly wage to participate. My last few slides will showcase some strategic leaders that could be used to help further these goals. Leadership that has already proven its support to the court school technology vision include our Executive Director of JCCS, Stacy Spector, our Superintendent, Dr. Randy Ward, and our SDSU Board of Education members. The SDSU Board of Ed has their own LCAP, which includes goals that directly support those of court schools technology. Goal 5, Action E, states, the board will continue its support in the area of instructional technology and infrastructure to support district and school site operations. And Action G states that the board will investigate and begin implementing strategies, including the use of technology, to support efficient and effective delivery of information, services, and supports to districts, which it has already done by helping to manage some court schools departments, such as ITS and graphics, and support other departments as well. This slide features the most direct strategic leadership that can help these 2 actionable goals. Dennis is our go-to ITS leader and was instrumental in the Chromebook rollout, as was Jeff Heil, who is now a learning coach. Both of these leaders know our program and support the goals of court schools because they helped design it. Jeff and Dennis can provide expertise and resources, but our own trained teachers can support each other as well in a PLC. Finally, our principal can greatly help in designing a disciplinary plan and putting these plans into action. The principal has the authority to coordinate most of these actionable goals and the ability to reach above to hire admin if needed. I believe Court Schools has created a strong foundation to be competent in technology. Now we need to put supports in place to really develop student learning. For more information, visit my website at jessicabelleci.weebly.com for live slides where you can click live links. Thank you for watching.